PM East Africa time. You're just in time for KBC Lunchtime News on this 24th day of February 2024. My name is Bentro Njue. Anwangeshi is my colleague on the sign language interpretation. Welcome to the broadcast. We begin on a security alert where 5 schools have been closed in Baringo County following banditry attacks in the region in the last 2 weeks that have left 2 people dead. The affected schools are Kosile, Garatuko, Kibenos, Kagir and Yatwa primary schools. Among the people killed by bandits is the Kagir primary school head teacher. The second casualty is a 59-year-old man from Tiati constituency. Baringo North Member of Parliament Joseph Makilapu visited the victims of the attack at the Baringo Referral Hospital, noted that the escalation of banditry attacks in the region, calling on the national government to intervene. 8 people have so far been killed in Baringo North in just this year alone.
Government needs to know that the situation in Baringo North is really out of hand. We call for more enforcement of the security forces, who are again very insecure. You know, the other day, the county commissioner, the county commander, OCBD, they were all ambushed and they were actually hit until they lost all their ammunitions, and the bandits continue to have ammunitions.
Na chana hata kabla tujasika mwenye aliuawa, huyu mwalimu alikuwa mwenye aoni. Kuna mwingine tena aliuawa chana. Hii Baringo yetu inataka maombi. Na pia pande ya Elgeyo Marakwet pia watu waliuawa. We want to request the government to can they do a forceful disarmament in Baringo County?
And on a tragic note, 2 people died on Friday evening after being buried in soil while working on the Kerugoya Kutu sewerage project in Kutus, Kirinyaga County. Kirinyaga County Executive Committee Member of Roads and Infrastructure, Jared Megwe, said 2 people were rescued and are receiving treatment. The project seeks to connect all government institutions in Kirinyaga County to the sewer line.
That is being undertaken countrywide in 3 counties within Kirinyaga, Mount Kenya region rather. It's called the Kenya Town Sustainable Water Supply and Sanitation Project. Unfortunately, we tried to act very fast and our response was fairly swift. We managed to save 2 people, but unfortunately we have also lost 2 others.
Wamemaliza masaa 3 chini ya mchanga. Walikuwa wanafanya nini? Hakukuwa na vifaa ya kuondoa hao watoto huko chini.
Hata kama ni kazi walikuwa wamepea vijana, wangekuwa wameleta kama hayo matinga yenye wameleta saa hizi wakati hilo janga limetokea. Our governor at least angalie mambo tu kwa uangalifu zaidi.
Let's now shift gears to matters education. Parents in Kajiado County say the mop-up exercise launched to get 10,000 learners who dropped out of school is fruitless as school fee challenges persist. This has been occasioned by the harsh drought in the area, calling on the government to come up with stopgap measures that will cushion them against the high cost of living after losing their livestock.
Nilikuwa allocate 56 million to bursary. Lakini wakati bursary hii pesa kidogo ilikuja, tulipata only 30%. And that is across the country. Every constituency in our country, they received about 30% of bursary allocation out of 100%. So it's very small. 30% ni pesa kidogo sana.
Sisi wamepitia magumu na mashida sababu ya kiangazi. Hiyo kiangazi umemaliza mfugo zetu yote. Sisi wamehangaika, watoto wetu aendi shule, itafanya chochote hata mpaka kukula ni shida.
And actually I know 2 families hapo ambao neighbor wangu ambao watoto wao mpaka wale wajaenda shule kwa sababu mzazi hana fees. Wengine wamechukua loan, wameshindwa kulipa. Kuwezi pata basari bado kabla hajapata admission number. Na wazazi wamekosa kitu ya kununulia nguo na kubaia makitabu ya kwenda kuandika ndio apate kuingia shule. Sasa sinaomba tafadhali serikali yetu ongezee basari na waangalie wamama.
Kutoka rastia watu wengi walisimamishwa kazi na biashara ikarudi chini. Kwa hivyo tegemeo lao imekuwa ni kutegemea pesa ya msaada kama hii ya basari ndio waweze kusomesha watoto.
Very well, and away from that, Hinn, the popular evangelist, will be dropping by the country for a couple of televangelism and also crusades. And we have my colleague Beatrice Gatonyengatich, who is keeping tabs with the latest preparations in regards to his visit at the Njue National Stadium. Good afternoon, Beatrice. What is currently underway at the Njue National Stadium?
Thank you very much from the studio, Njue. Beatrice Gatonye here, coming from Njue Stadium, where the international televangelist Hinn will be making his way here to come to Kenya 20 years from the last time he was here. Indeed, many Christians, local and international, have already made their way here. And preparations for these events that will be starting at 3 p.m. The preparations are underway. When you look on this side, the choir is already preparing. The podium is set. But to tell us more about this event is Apostle Martin Suna, who is in charge of this event. Let's hear what he has to say about this event. Welcome to KBC Channel 1, Apostle. What should Kenyans and Christians who are making their way here should expect from this?
Well, welcome KBC viewers all over the country. My name is Apostle Suna Martin from the Word of Israel Church. I am in charge of the stadium event here and logistics. And we are expecting Pastor Hinn, who came into the country yesterday and is coming for the healing of the nation. We want to see God change our nation, touch our nation, and raise our nation to the next level. This is a man God has used over the years, over 51 years, to preach the gospel, to heal the sick, to deliver the captives. And we believe this is a great time for Kenya, because Kenya is about to experience God on another level, especially now.
Tell us, how did the preparations happen? Is it every church involved, or it was only one church? Tell us more about how these events came about.
This event came about when the First Lady visited America and asked Pastor Hinn to come to Kenya and bless our country. And he accepted to come. And when the First Lady came back, she's a Christian. So she contacted us as pastors and asked us, is it okay to host Hinn? We said yes. But you know, the government has no budget for crusades. So it's not a government project. So we said we will raise money from our different churches. This is an effort of different countries, different churches, different organizations, Christian men and women who gave and sacrificed and said, we are putting this together. We have an executive team that is from different churches that will put this thing together, and look what God is doing, that today Pastor Hinn is in Kenya and all churches are united for the first time. We are all together, we are working together, and we are believing God for God to change our country.
It's a great gesture for people who will walk in this stadium. What should they expect?
Number one, where there is unity, there is a blessing. There is no time we ever wanted unity in Kenya like now, when all tribes, all peoples, all nationalities are united together. So what the expectation in this stadium is one: God is going to move. God is going to touch the hearts of men. We have mobilized through 25 different pastors' fellowships across the country. Kisumu, Eldoret, who are in Mombasa on Monday, all over Nairobi, in Nanyuki, Naivasha, Nyahururu, Nyeri, just telling people, let's get together on purpose, oneness of spirit. Because the Bible says, there God commands a blessing. So the expectation is one: God is going to touch us, God is going to heal us. As our leaders are coming, everybody is coming. Every leader is coming, whether they are this political party, that political party, because the Holy Spirit is not tribal, is not religious. he is a person. And Pastor Hinn is one of the persons that God has used to introduce the world to the Holy Spirit. And as he ministers, people's hearts are healed, people's minds are restored, and miracles begin to happen. And salvation is spoken to the people.
Thank you very much, Apostle Suna, even for the great work you're doing together with other organizers of this event. Indeed, it's going to be a great time for Kenya. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That is Apostle Suna, who is in charge of the event here at the Njue Stadium, and he's making sure that everything is in place by the time the event kicks on at 3 p.m. And remember, this event is going to be a 2-day event. I'm told the 3rd day it will be for the clergy, who will be meeting the international televangelist, Pastor Hinn, and thereafter he leaves the country. Remember the last time Hinn was in the country? It is 20 years ago. Indeed, it is a great time for Kenya. First Lady Rachel Ruto is expected to make her way here, including other government officials, and everyone is invited here at National Njue Stadium to come and witness the great workings of God, as Apostle Martin Suna has indicated. So from me, Beatrice Gatonye, here at Njue Stadium, wacha pia mimi niweze kuabudu kidogo nikikutayarishia taarifa ya jioni ya saa 1 au vipi? Asante sana Njue. I wish you all the best for the rest of the bulletin. Back to the studio.
Thank you so much, and be blessed. Beatrice Gatonye teach live from the Njue National Stadium, where we do expect a huge concert that has been lined up for Kenya as a country by Hinn and a number of televangelists from around the globe. The event kicks off at exactly 3 p.m. Today, no sporting event at the Njue National Stadium because of that crusade. And away from the matters of the Bible to matters health, where the government is urging health professionals to embrace government-to-government placements and private recruitment programs geared at positioning Kenya's healthcare human resource in key jobs across Europe, the Middle East and Americas, a move expected to boost diaspora remittances. Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Mudomi says a partnership between the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection and the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs through bilateral labour agreements and protective frameworks aim to secure a safe, respectful and conducive working environment for all in the diaspora. Kenya received 483 billion shillings in diaspora remittances from approximately 3,000 healthcare professionals in the year 2022. And to some politics now, where Kenya leader Martha Karua, Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni, Kikuyu Council of Elders and the Association of Lawyers from the Mount Kenya region have vowed to fight for the interests of the electorate in the Mount Kenya region. The leaders at the same time poked holes into the budget policy statement proposals submitted to Parliament, warning Kenyans to brace themselves for a wave of new taxes.
In a meeting with the Kikuyu Council of Elders in Kiambu County, Kenya leader Martha Karua and Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni expressed reservations about the budget policy statement proposal submitted to Parliament. Karua took issue with the government for seeking to impose a 1.5% levy for non-employed Kenyans.
When people can't access medicines, medical services, when children are out of school, when people cannot make 3 meals a day, and then the added burden of taxation.
The leaders at the same time declared that Mount Kenya region was not getting its full share of development as expected.
The elders in the Kikuyu's community have come together with lawyers, young lawyers and old lawyers, to agree to forge one unified front where they can now be able to confront issues facing the community as one. It is not just culture, it is economic, it is political, it's also social.
This as they also demanded that the case facing 22 persons who were arrested at Mukurina Wanyagadhanga on 31st December last year on suspicion of being members of outlawed sect Mungiki be dismissed.
Mainly the case against the elders in the Murang'a court and the other cases in Nyeri and elsewhere in the Republic. But we don't need any reason to meet. We can meet just to be happy and be with one another. After all, There is nothing in the Constitution that stops people with community of interest from meeting.
For us, we will continue, and we want to pledge that the rights of our people are not going to be intimidated. The people will enjoy their full freedoms under the constitutions like all other communities.
Give us minor lunchtime news.
Well, at about 14 minutes past the top of the hour, we are due for a fast break, but when we come back, we still have more news, including sports.
How do you say welcome in your language?
No. So today we're making egusi soup with goat meat.
As we allow our egusi to boil, you said it's going to take about 5 minutes, and it's looking so good. I love the color from the palm oil.
We're practically done in mixing it.
Right. Eunice, thank you so much for coming all the way and teaching us how to make egusi soup, the traditional Igbo way. I love it.
Our folktales were also made in such a way that a step parent is wicked and a step parent is evil.
Yes.
So it came from socialization. If you ask me, the word step is neither good nor bad. It is the meaning that we have given it.
These families or members of these families are the ones that put attitudes in our minds. Because we already start with step. Tena challenge inakuwa kubwa sana kama spouse si supportive. Na ndio spouse akuwe supportive, spouse anakuwa katikati. Alali huku sana na pande hii sana. That already is a diverse way of doing things. There is beauty in diversity.
Space for Hussein last point save here in the fourth. Following the successful completion of the African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast, this week marks the exciting return of CAF interclub action as the CAF Championship League resumes. Etoile du Sahel will take on Esperance at 10 p.m. this Saturday. Catch the action live on KBC Channel 1. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner. Expertly taken penalty from Yassine Naria.
Welcome back and many thanks for keeping it Channel 1. Moving on, the State Department of Housing and Urban Development has allocated 1 billion shillings for the upgrading of informal settlements in Nakuru County under the second phase of the Kenya Informal Settlement Improvement Program 2. Through the World Bank funded program, Nakuru County government has received 500 million shillings to improve access to basic services in the low-income settlements of Kwamurogi in Free Area, London and Lakeview within Nakuru Town and Karagita slums in Naivasha. Besides slums upgrading, the initiative also seeks to improve drainage infrastructure, waste management, roads in the slums and installation of street lighting and high-mast floodlights. And still on infrastructure, Interior Principal Secretary Dr. Raymond Omolo says the construction of the 53-kilometer Mfangano Island and Rusinga Island ring roads is on course. Omolo says the project, upon completion, will address challenges of movement within the islands. The PS spoke on Rusinga Island during the burial of Beldina Wakiaga, the mother of businessman Sami Wakiaga.
Infrastructure programs are being undertaken in this county. Mfangano Ring Road is ongoing. The first phase of it is to make sure that it is always accessible across the entire island. And then the second phase will be to tarmac it. Rusinga Ring Road, the contract is being signed. Actually, the contractor is on site. 3 contractors. And it will be done so that we address the challenge of movement around the island. If you go to Homa Bay town, the Homa Bay pier is being done at a cost of 600 million, so that movement and trade becomes easy for our people. The third major program that the government is rolling out is in the blue economy space, and we are putting up fish landing sites along the lakes, the Lake of Victoria. And I could go on and on and on.
And back to Nakuru County, where bar owners in the county have supported the government's fight against illicit brews. They say the initiative will not only curb the wanton loss of lives to the lethal products, but also secure their businesses from the threat posed by counterfeits.
Weeks after 17 people lost their lives in Mandera County after consuming illicit brews, Nakuru Bar Owners Association have added their voice to the fight against illicit brews.
Tushikane, tuunge serikali mkono, tuseme tutashikana tukumaliza hii pombe haramu, tutaimaliza.
Tuna support sana mambo ya pombe mbaya kutouzwa. Tuna support sana mambo ya masaa kufuatwa. Masaa lazima ifuatwe, ile iko kwa license.
Led by their chair, Dr. Abdul Nur, the traders called upon police and local administrators to be stringent in enforcing the law. Courts were blamed for letting culprits in trade of illicit brews get away.
Kwa hivyo tunataka pia mahakama zetu zikuwe macho kabisa na zichukue hatua kali kwa watu ambao wanapatikana wanaleta enza na huku waweze kushikwa.
Hawanyoshei kidole cha lawama county. Na county ndio wanafanya licensing. Wao ndio wanaandika masaa kwa license, na utapata mtu wako na on bar na ameandikiwa 24 hours ambapo haistahili. Utapata mtu wako na wines and spirits ambaye ni retail, amelipa retail lakini ameandikiwa masaa ya wholesale.
Liquor outlet owners were called upon to get stock from accredited wholesalers and suppliers, not cartels who purport to sell legitimate beverages.
Tunataka hizo pombe zipigwe marufuku kabisa, hizo ethanol, na wale ambao watashikwa na ethanol waseme wanatoaga wapi hizi ethanol.
They were speaking after meeting the Nakuru County Government's Public Health Department. Parsal Frederick, Lunchtime News.
But well, let's now tilt the lens and focus on matters agriculture, where students undertaking agriculture-related courses have been urged to embrace organic agricultural skills for guaranteed job markets. Experts argue that agriculture should be made compulsory in secondary schools to help many young people realize their agricultural potential.
We are training them on how to do agriculture as a business and how to be involved in the value chain of the food industry. We ask the government to consider building a policy on changing agriculture from high-cost external input agriculture.
And in Mandera, the county government says it has procured a state-of-the-art water drilling machine as part of the efforts to tackle water challenges in the county. Mandera Governor Mohammed Khalif says the machine is capable of identifying saline and fresh water sources. The government says they are looking to sink enough boreholes across the country and the county to ensure residents are cushioned against the effects of drought.
Availability of this advanced machine will focus on sourcing for a modern deep drill machine with a capacity of doing between 800 and 1,000 meters borehole, so that the department can reduce cost of drilling boreholes and also undertake emergency drilling intervention when required across the county.
Lengo letu ni moja tu, kuhakikisha kuwa wakazi wa Mandera watakuwa wanapata maji, na hakuna cha kubahatisha wakati ambapo kwamba tuna drill boreholes, wakati tunachimba vizima, hakuna mara tunabahatisha sasa, kwa sababu tutakuwa na mashine ambayo kwamba inatuonyesha uhakika wa mambo vilivyo huko chini.
And in sports, Daniel Kibet led a Kenyan podium sweep in the 17th edition of the Ras Al Khaimah half marathon held today at the United Arab Emirates. In the women's race, Ethiopia's Tsigie Gebreselama emerged victorious after clocking 1 hour, 5 minutes and 14 seconds ahead of Ababel Yeshane and Jacqueline Juma, who finished second and third respectively.
So away they go then, the 17th edition of the Ras Al Khaimah half.
Kibet clocked 58 minutes and 45 seconds, beating his countrymen John Kipkosgei and Isaiah Kipkoech to the second and third position respectively. Ras Al Khaimah half marathon defending champion Bernard Kibet finished fifth in a time of 59 minutes and 42 seconds, while other Kenyan Amos Kurgat finished eighth.
Comes towards the line and breaks the tape now. It's 58.45 unofficially for Mateko. Korea 58.49.
In the women's race, Ethiopia's Tsigie Gebreselama emerged victorious after clocking 1 hour, 05 minutes and 14 seconds ahead of her counterpart Ababel Yeshane, who finished second, as Tanzania's Jacqueline Juma finished third.
The opposition in the second half of this race. She's looked relaxed and comfortable for most of this second half, but she comes to the tape now and breaks it in 65.14 unofficially. Brilliant run, and the gap behind her, well, we can't tell.
Margaret Chelimo finished fourth ahead of Evelyn Chilchir, Catherine Relin and Olympic champion Perez Chepchirchir, who finished fifth, sixth and seventh respectively.
And the first 3 athletes went under 59 minutes, the first 8 athletes under 60 minutes. The magic of the Ras Al Khaimah half marathon.
Kingori Mwangi for Lunchtime News.
Elsewhere, the national men's basketball team Morans lost their opening match 69-90 to host Tunisia in the 2025 FIBA Afro Basketball Championship qualifiers in Monastir last night. Tunisia, who are tipped favorites, won the first and second quarter 25-11 and 20-15 respectively. Morans bagged the third quarter 20-19 before losing the fourth quarter 20-26. Tunisia's Jahar Jawadi and Kenya's Albert Odero were the top scorers with 8 and 25 points respectively. In other matches, Guinea lost 70-76 to Angola, while Ivory Coast defeated Madagascar 77-69. Kenya is currently taking on 11-time champions Angola in their second Group E match.
Duro far side of the ring, nice pass. A little phase of play could have settled the nerves, but while Odero goes inside, and have to put this up. Tough.
And the former Chipkizi Cup winners First Touch Under-17 junior soccer team lost 4-1 to National Under-17 junior stars in an entertaining friendly match played at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. First Touch, used the match as build-up for the upcoming Rausha Kipaji soccer tournament set for April in Nakuru.
First Touch soccer team took charge of the game from the onset, missing open chances in the early minutes of the first half. A defensive blunder in the 18th minute made them trail 1-0 after hosting Adongo netted the first goal. Then Fidel Otieno added a second shortly before half-time. In the second half, Odongo added a third before Kevin Munani made it 4-0. Julius Opio scored First Touch consolation goal.
The game was good. The boys did try their best. Unfortunately, we lost. I think our finishing was very, very poor, and we had too much missed passes, and also in the goalkeeping department there are a few errors that cost us the game.
Ukiangalia through Talanta Hela, we have the scouts of Talanta Hela, they have picked the best. Wamepick the best. Now imekuwa countrywide. So kwa national team inakuwa ni rahisi ku identify our players.
First Touch used the match as a build-up test matches for the coming Rausha Kipaji soccer tournament set for April in Nakuru. For Lunchtime News, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Further afield, Bayern Leverkusen stretched lead over Bayern Munich at the top of the Bundesliga, going 11 points clear after a 2-1 win against Mainz. Leverkusen set a German record after going 33 games unbeaten across all competitions. Granit Xhaka and Robert Andrich scored the goals. Very well, and for more sporting action, don't forget that we will be bringing the CAF Champions League Match 5 matches right here on KBC. So at 10 p.m, make a date with us for the Etoile du Sahel of Tunisia versus Esperance of Tunisia at 10 p.m. And the early bird can catch the match between Young Africans of Tanzania and the Belouizdad of Algeria on our sister channel Y254 at 7 p.m. My name is Njue. And Anwangeshi has been our sign language interpreter for this live newscast. And on behalf of my colleagues, including my director, Wilson Gishinga, who has directed this bulletin, do have yourself a blessed Sunday afternoon.
Space for Hussein. Last point save here in the fourth.
Following the successful completion of the African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast, this week marks the exciting return of CAF interclub action as the CAF Championship League resumes. Etoile du Sahel will take on Esperance at 10 p.m. this Saturday. Catch the action live on KBC Channel 1. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Expertly taken penalty from Yasin Naria.
Wiki hii kwenye Mkulima tutakita kambi katika nyumba hii ya cricket na kujifunza haya.
People should farm and eat them because they taste good. The second thing is that they are very nutritious. Yeah? High protein. Tunasema crickets wako na protein mara mbili ya fish, mara mbili ya omena, mara mbili ya chicken, mara